His parents thought it was just a phase, until he began naming people he'd never met, describing details from a century ago, and drawing pictures of a ship that had sunk decades before his birth. The ship? The RMS Lusitania. Welcome to episode 1 of Echoes Beneath the Surface, a series exploring haunting past life memories linked to water. Today's story is one of the most compelling child-reported reincarnation cases connected to a maritime disaster. It begins in 2010, when 5-year-old Sean, name changed for privacy, began having intense nightmares. He would scream about drowning, explosions, and trying to get out of a narrow hallway. His parents initially chalked it up to a fear of water or a traumatic bath memory. But the dreams persisted. Sean would wake up sobbing, saying, "The ship went boom. It sank. I couldn't breathe." Things became stranger when he began using unfamiliar words like torpedo, starboard, and bulkhead. His parents, not particularly nautical or historically inclined, were baffled. He also drew obsessively, a long boat with 4 funnels, smoke pouring from one side, people jumping off the edge. In every drawing, he'd write the word Lucy. One day, his mother asked him what Lucy meant. Sean said, without hesitation, it was the ship's name. "I worked on her. I fixed engines. But we didn't make it." His father, curious now, began researching British ships named Lucy, and quickly discovered that sailors during World War I often referred to the Lusitania affectionately as Lucy. When shown a historical photograph of the RMS Lusitania, Sean reportedly turned pale. He whispered, "That's her. That's the one I died on." He pointed to the ship's middle section and said, "That's where the bang happened." The water came fast. His parents were stunned. The RMS Lusitania was a British ocean liner torpedoed by a German U-boat in 1915, off the coast of Ireland. Nearly 1,200 people died. It was one of the most infamous maritime tragedies of the 20th century, and a key turning point in public opinion during World War I. Sean knew none of that. At least, not in this life. As weeks passed, he began mentioning names. He spoke of someone called Michael, saying they worked together in the engine room. He said they couldn't get out because the hallway was too small and the door was stuck. He said, "I burned my hands trying to get the hatch open." His mother asked how he remembered that. Sean replied, "Because I died. I saw it happen again and again. I don't want to go on boats anymore." Disturbed but intrigued, his father dug deeper and found records of a Michael Sweeney, a 33-year-old engine room worker who died aboard the Lusitania. In that same engine crew, listed 2 names below, was a man named Thomas Brennan, Sean's current middle name. Sean had never been told his middle name was Thomas. The deeper they looked, the more eerie the connections became. Sean said the water was black and thick and that it pulled people down like ropes. He described the ship leaning before breaking apart, something consistent with eyewitness survivor reports. He even remembered the uniforms, the sounds, and the smell of oil and smoke. He also described seeing boats falling sideways and people screaming as lifeboats capsized, a tragic detail corroborated by survivor accounts from the port side of the Lusitania. His parents kept a journal of his statements and drawings. They contacted a child psychologist, who found no evidence of manipulation, fantasy delusion, or media contamination. The child was not lying. And he was far too young to fake this. Eventually, they reached out to the University of Virginia's Division of Perceptual Studies, where past life memory cases are studied. While Sean's case could not be formally verified due to privacy barriers, the researchers agreed it fit the pattern of other credible child reincarnation cases: vivid, historically accurate memories starting before age 6, trauma-specific fears tied to the manner of past death, emotional weight and clarity beyond the child's normal development, memories fading as the child grows older. By the time Sean turned 7, his drawings had stopped. The dreams became less frequent. He no longer mentioned Lucy. But he still refused to go near the ocean. On a family trip to the Irish coast, he stood on a cliff and said, "This is where I died. Right there." He pointed out to sea, almost exactly where the Lusitania went down in 1915. Was Sean truly remembering a past life aboard a doomed ship? Was he a reincarnated soul trying to heal through memory? Science may never fully explain it. But for his parents, and for those who heard his story, it felt like the echoes of something deep. Something submerged. Had risen briefly to the surface. What do you think of this story? Does it add up? Join us for the next video of this series, The Girl Who Remembered the 2004 Tsunami.